Hi, I'm Amanda Gustin, the Director of Collections and Access at the Vermont Historical Society. And I'm here today to talk to you about one of the most recent items we've added to our collection. And it is a bag that used to contain King Arthur flour. So the King Arthur Baking Company, as it is now known, was founded as the Henry Wood Company in 1790 in Boston. And it was founded in order to import high-quality European flour to a brand new American market. It continued in Boston for quite a while, almost 200 years. In 1896, the company introduced their new King Arthur flour. It was a name for a brand new sort of marketing type of flour that they called it King Arthur flour because it aimed for high ideals and it was excellent. They thought it was a good name for their new flour. Eventually, that name, King Arthur flour, became the name of the entire company. In 1984, Frank and Brenna Sands, who were then the fifth generation owners of King Arthur flour, moved the company from Boston to Norwich, Vermont, where it still is today. In 2004, the company became employee-owned. And in between there, they really had a huge expansion. In 1990, they sent out their first catalog. In 1996, they started their first website. And they really expanded from being a company that just made flour into a company that is all about baking. Hence their very recent, just in this last year, renaming to the King Arthur Baking Company. So the object I have here today dates from March of 2020. So we'll go back to the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. In that second weekend of March of 2020, King Arthur Flour noticed that calls to their baking hotline were just through the roof, seemingly out of nowhere over that weekend. They reported a huge increase in calls. In the week after that, they started to see a huge spike in demand for King Arthur flour because people were now staying at home. They were quarantining during the very early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, and they were baking. They were turning to activities they could do with their family, activities that would be hands-on, keep them busy, and feel nourishing. So eventually, King Arthur flour would tally a 600% increase in March 2020 over their previous year's sales, and it never really slowed down. So pretty quickly they realized that demand was going to far outstrip not the supply of flour, there was plenty of flour, but their ability to supply that flour. The real hang-up was in getting that flour bagged in the traditional 5-pound bags that they had been selling to grocery stores and then distributed out to all the people who were buying it, as soon as it appeared on grocery store shelves. So almost overnight, what they did was they called all of their production lines all over the country who bagged their 5-pound flour, and they realized that no one had any more capacity to add a 5-pound bag line, or at least it would take so many months that it would be pointless. But one company could bag 3 pounds of flour at a time. They had one production line that could be used. So King Arthur designed this bag here to hold 3 pounds of their all-purpose flour, specifically to meet market demands during those first few months of the COVID quarantine. So this bag was primarily manufactured to meet not necessarily a grocery store demand, but rather a demand of shipping to home. People who are going on the website or calling up or shopping from the catalog and having flour shipped directly to their home from King Arthur Flour. And it says on the back, it's actually got some language related that tells us a little bit about this bag's specific role in its moment in history. It says, during these unprecedented times, as we work to restock stores around the company, we're finding new ways to supply you with flour so that you can keep baking. To help bridge the gap until stores are restocked nationwide, we're offering this 3-pound bag of flour for a limited time. So this bag wasn't made terribly long. They made about 1 million of them, which sounds like a lot, but flour goes quickly. This particular bag came to the Vermont Historical Society collection. Actually, I personally donated it, so that's a fun connection for me. I've always been a baker, and I personally did not suffer from the flour shortage because I had a 50-pound bag in my chest freezer in the basement. But when I went back to their campus in Norwich for the first time after it reopened after COVID, just to be in a place that I really enjoyed, I saw that these bags were on sale. The very last of them were on sale for that, and I thought immediately, this is something that really documents a Vermont story of a very specific moment in a national crisis. And King Arthur Flour's story really was part of the national story at that time. Thank you for joining us. To learn more about the Vermont Historical Society and its collections, please follow us on social media or visit our website, vermonthistory.org.